I'm Robin Miller, host of Miller Chat. My guest today is Paula Dentoncourt, Certified Holistic Health Coach. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Robin.
Yes, today's topic is on fall cleanse. Fall cleanse. What does that mean exactly?
So what is a fall cleanse? So
Yeah.
obviously, I've been on before,
Right.
but for people that haven't seen me on before, being a holistic health coach, a fall cleanse is about detoxifying the body. So we're going to talk today about cleaning the buildup waste in your body, and talk about how you can feel lighter and cleaner and just feeling a little bit better after the summer months. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what a fall cleanse is. It's basically kind of, just detoxifying the body, and so you get rid of the toxins and that buildup in your body.
Well, I remember we did the spring cleanse, and I can understand you're in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get the fresh air, and then you tend to eat more fat food, sugar foods.
Yeah.
It's the hibernation effect, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you're out in the summertime, I guess depending on where you are,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're in the hot, humid climate of the southeast, or in the
Right.
hot, dry climate of the southwest, or where we are, where this summer in New England we had Florida summer.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
but if everybody's out, what would be some of the reasons for a fall cleanse?
Well, the reason for a fall cleanse is to prepare your body for the winter months to help prevent from getting illness. Like, now that kids are going back to school, or, even in the workplace and things, colds and flu are going to start going around.
Yeah.
So you want to detoxify your body so you start building up that immune system so you're ready. So, as soon as that cold starts coming around, you don't want to get it. So on September 22nd, it's the autumn equinox. So that's a time of change. So this prepares your body for the coming months, both physically and emotionally. So it's the time to just jumpstart your body from the long summer days. So for example, not everybody, I know, but for the most part, most of us all summer long have gone to cookouts and been eating hamburgers and hot dogs and macaroni salad and potato salad and lots of different desserts, s'mores. All that stuff adds up in your body. Chips, what are you eating on the beach? I mean, like I said, not everybody's the same. Some people are, they're just eating salads and healthy foods. And if you are, great, you may not need a fall cleanse. So we'll talk about that, like why you would think you even need one. But for the most part, the majority of America, I see it on Facebook, what people are doing. They're going to the beach and they're eating and drinking too. People are drinking wine and beer and alcoholic beverages. So it just depends.
Eating stadium food.
Yeah, stadium food. If you're going to ball games and kids games and things. So these are things to just keep in mind that's, you're on toxic overload now from all that stuff. So it's not just in the winter when we add all that stuff in our bodies.
But it's also the sun.
What's that?
Being out in the sun too long without being protected.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
That too, and also, like I said, the picnics,
Yeah.
the alcohol, the booze,
Yeah.
the late night, especially for kids who are not in school or go to camp, stay up late at night.
Right. And they're eating things like s'mores and
Yeah, ice
maybe
creams.
sneaking soda.
Yeah, that's right. Soda uptake,
Right.
ices, popsicles.
Yep. All sugar.
Yeah, a lot of sugary foods, which makes them more thirsty, right?
Yep.
And then because you go to the stadiums and you go to events,
Yep.
right? And then when you go to attractions, you know how they have the food under the irradiated light?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, you normally don't think of it. Usually summer's a time to cleanse your body.
Right. But not everybody does.
Not everybody does.
Like
Okay.
I said, it depends on the person. Some people are just eating salads and smoothies and eating healthy, but the majority, if you look around, aren't.
And also the
Right.
grill. When you go to some of the grills, they're not clean,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And then you have these leftover stuff in it.
Well, that's more of a health issue. You don't want to get sick.
Right.
That's a health issue. You don't want to get sick from the bacteria left behind. Yeah.
Right. And insects too. Sometimes, like we know with Lyme, it can show up later in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this Legionnaires thing that's going around in for Hampton Beach area. And
I heard about that. What
Yeah.
happened there?
I don't know exactly what Legionnaire's illness is, but they're finding it may be in the water. First they were tracing it back to maybe a hot tub at a hotel, might be in the water. I don't know, I'd have to look it up what exactly Legionnaire's disease is, but it's very, it's fatal, not caught early. So people are dying from it. So it's something it's some sort of bacteria that's getting in the water. They don't know if it's one specific hotel. Don't know for sure.
I remember that in the 70s, hearing about that.
Yeah.
I remember that. So what are some of the organs that are affected?
So the organs that are affected, according to Chinese medicine, are the lungs and the large intestines. When the lungs aren't strong, you start to experience things, feeling hot, night sweats, tired, so you feel fatigued. And here's another one, and I used to notice this, not so much where I am now, but I used to notice this sometimes when I worked in another place. Excessive body odor is a huge factor of a toxic body. I believe it was Victoria Batenko said it best. She said when you eat clean, like fall cleanse, our bodies don't shed those toxins. She claims you don't even need deodorant because there's no toxins in our body when you eat that clean. Most of us, we're not perfect,
No.
you know what I mean? But when you eat clean, you're not getting off these toxins. So just something to think about. So you're tired, you're fatigued, you have no vitality in your body. So that's something to think about. And then on the emotional side, the lungs are connected to sadness. So if you're depressed a lot and sad a lot, you may need to detox a little bit. So you just want to let go of those old emotions in your body by detoxifying. So the other one is your large intestines, which excretes the waste from your body, which, it's our gut. We've talked about this on other shows, but if anybody hasn't watched, our gut is like the biggest thing that just does everything in our body. So it manufactures 95% of the body's serotonin. It's a key player in the health of your immune system, the gut.
Wow.
So like we said, you need external factors that affect it are stress, toxins, so any kind of outside toxins too. If you're using, bleaches and different cleansers, like you were talking about the sunscreen in the summer, maybe people aren't using a good organic sunscreen. So that's building up in your body because your skin is absorbing it. It's going right into the bloodstream. Those are things to think about. Prescription medicines, antibiotics, birth control, all these things can clog up your digestive tract. Processed food, if you're eating like granola bars all the time that aren't, a good organic brand. These kind of things that you're just grabbing on the go, if they're not a good organic brand, it's going to just add to your gut and you won't digest it. So it gets clogged. And then what happens is you get reactions in your body, things like skin rashes. Your digestive system's off. You might get constipated. Headaches, congestion. If you're eating, say you had smoothies all summer long or ice cream, and you're wondering why am I so congested right now? It could be because of the dairy. From those different things. The other one is the inflammation in your joints. You might start to get the joint pain. So those are some reasons why you'd want to detoxify. And emotionally, the large intestine is releasing negativity. So it's similar to the, what did I say? I lost the last one. The lungs, similar to the lungs. So, sadness, depression, they're very similar, so you want to detoxify and it's going to boost your mood and make you feel better.
Do you remember the health advisory they had 2 weeks ago? We had high humidity, high temps. Do you remember the warning? Because we got really hot here.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about drinking plenty of water.
Right.
Now, it is when you drink water, no matter whether it's whatever it comes from, and if you're congested and if you've eaten bad foods, does it make it harder for the body to process? Does it make it harder for you to cool down? Does it affect you in an adverse way if you've eaten healthy over the summertime?
Well, drinking water is one of the best things you can do because it's going to flush everything out. So even if you've had crap food, it will help you flush out some of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you need half your body weight in ounces in water. It helps with allergies. Like I know for me, when the seasons change, I start to sniffle a little bit. Like right now, ragweed's coming out, goldenrod's out. So you're going to start to sneeze more. So your body produces more histamines when you're dehydrated. So staying hydrated just helps your body stay the right body temperature. So you need to stay hydrated. It's going to help with things like allergies. It's going to help with energy. You know, if you're dehydrated, you can just be exhausted, and you're not going to get rid of waste as easily. You're going to be bloated more, believe it or not. So those are some things to think about with water. Water is amazing. Or, if you start to get joint pain, water lubricates the joints, so it helps with that. So those are some, you want to stay hydrated. You don't want to be in the hospital from sunstroke and all those things if you're not hydrated. Yeah.
That's true, because I remember that, and that will depend on that. Now, regarding what emotion comes with the intestines? You said sadness for lungs. Do they say anything about the intestines?
Yeah, it is sadness, negativity.
Negativity?
Yeah, that's why I said they're like similar. So, and that's why I said it's going to cause depression and being tired and overweight. And of course, if you're overweight, you feel like garbage, you're going to feel depressed and, so, yeah. So those are some emotions that you want to let go of. So ways that you can work on those emotions, you can always do prayer or meditations, different things like that. Journal how you're feeling, journal what you've eaten and how you feel. And I like to tell people, especially my clients, you want to go both ways, good and bad. If you ate something and you feel depressed and sad, then journal that out. Why do you think that is?
Okay.
But did it make you feel like you're in a good mood? Maybe there's an emotion attached to that. We've talked about this on other shows. I have an emotional attachment to chocolate chip cookies, because we did that when we went on vacation for 2 weeks at the Cape every year. My mom made homemade chocolate chip cookies. We had homemade chocolate chip cookies for Christmas. So I have that emotional attachment. Every time I see a chocolate chip cookie, I'm like, I want it. It makes me feel good.
No matter what's in it.
No matter what's in it. I want it. I'm not going to say I'm going to eat those every day. No. But I'm just saying that's my emotional attachment. That's my comfort thing.
Comfort food.
Right. And it's probably something different for somebody else. They might have gotten something, a reward food or something, So it's not the actual food that's making me feel good. Obviously not. It's making me feel crappy.
Right.
But you have to get that out on a journal. And if you can't journal it and write it out, I tell people take a picture of things and then record it on your phone. We have phones now that you can just record it. There's different apps you can use, MyFitnessPal and all these different things. So it just makes it easier. It's like, oh, I don't feel like writing it down. You don't have to. Record it on your phone. And you'll see what's triggering these emotions. They say sugar, if we crave sugar, it's like, what's sweet? What are you missing that's sweet in your life? So is there some kind of love that you're missing? Not enough love.
Yeah, I could see that.
Friendships, relationship-wise, you don't have a partner. So you're substituting that sweet thing for sweet love. That's that's one thing that that they say.
The mystics would say.
Right.
Can I tell you something? People grew gardens this summer.
Yep.
And we grew a pumpkin zucchini. I've never ever seen a pumpkin zucchini. It's round and it's green and light yellow.
Is it acorn squash?
No, it was
It's not acorn squash.
it was my first zucchini pumpkin, a pumpkin zucchini. So
Wow.
so it was this big,
Oh, I've seen those. I have seen them.
Beautiful.
I don't think I've eaten one.
and we wanted to cook bread that was healthy.
Right.
We looked for a recipe.
Yep.
And I thought of you. So I went and I looked up on different internet, blah, 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 blah. I found stevia
Yep.
and whole wheat flour.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy any sugar cane. I just bought stevia, and I used some of the honey that's going to be up for the Rosh Hashanah holidays.
Yep.
So instead of putting a half a cup of stevia, we put only a quarter cup, and then we only put a quarter cup of honey
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to cut down on the sugar.
Right.
But in terms of the 4 cleanse, I guess baking recipes that are healthy can also be part of the 4 cleanse too, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you want to, start eliminating all those foods, and then we call it crowding out.
Mm-hmm.
Start bringing in the fall foods that are healthy, like you
Okay.
said, the zucchini, pumpkin, your root vegetables. Start bringing in the butternut squash
Yes.
and the, carrots and red potatoes and, different things.
Tomatoes.
You want to, and not, if you're going to do a fall cleanse, you want to stay away from the foods that contribute to inflammation because you want to get rid of that inflammation right now. So you want to avoid like the nightshade families, like the eggplant, the regular potatoes, tomatoes, peppers.
Peppers?
Peppers are part of the nightshade family.
And what does
So
that mean exactly?
The nightshade family, those vegetables grow at night, and they can contribute to inflammation in the body.
Even though they say you should use the peppers for your brain, the color peppers.
Right.
Up to a moderation, of course.
Right. Well, you have to listen to your own body. I mean, you
Right.
could probably eat them and be okay, but some people can't. Like, we talk about Lyme disease a lot on this show, or somebody with fibromyalgia, MS, those types of things. You have to listen to your own body. Again, the journaling, taking pictures. Maybe you can eat them and be fine, but some people could eat them and all of a sudden they're like, why do I have joint pain?
Mm-hmm.
It's you know what I mean? It's contributing to inflammation, so which causes the joint pain? Or why am I bloated? It's because it's contributing to the inflammation. So it's just something to keep in mind. It's not to say, oh, I can't have them.
Right.
Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Anything in the nightshade family can contribute to inflammation. So if you're trying to cleanse your body and reduce that inflammation, then you don't want those types of foods.
Nightshade. I never heard of that. Is that new?
No, nightshade family has been around a long time.
So what's the nightshade?
What's the nightshade?
I never heard of a nightshade. I've never heard
They
of
grow
it.
they grow at night.
What about during the day?
Well, there's all
Peaches?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you it just grows during the day because you'd have to know what plants grow but all different plants have different needs.
Of course.
Some need some shade, some need some sun, all sun, part shade. If I was a big time gardener, I could tell you, but I'm not, unfortunately. One of these days I hope to be. But.
Okay, so somebody walks in and says, Paula, I've been drinking beer, having sugar food over the summer. Can you write now, in the time we have, can you write out a plan for them, for a daily plan? What would you tell them to have for breakfast?
What would I tell them to have
Yes,
for
if they've been telling you
breakfast?
they've been having bagels and cream cheese, which is not a good thing. What would be the substitute for a 4
They'd
cleanse?
probably have to start with some fruit for breakfast, maybe steel-cut oats if they're going to do grains.
Okay.
I'd have to look at their history and see if they have any gut issues.
Okay.
If there are gut issues, I wouldn't do any grains. So it'd be just some smoothies and things like that for breakfast.
What about like an egg?
An egg would be okay.
An egg?
Yeah.
Or you can have without the egg yolk, right? I guess you can.
An egg is fine. I mean, unless somebody's got a huge cholesterol problem, they're just not going to. I wouldn't suggest to eat eggs every single day.
Right.
We got to mix it up with something.
What about lunch?
Lunch would be salads with some grilled chicken. I love roasted vegetables. So now that it's getting cooler, so roast some vegetables on a thing of like baby spinach or something like that. I love it like that. You could do grilled chicken if you have to have meat.
Tuna fish or turkey?
Yeah, you could do that. Turkey, yep. So, those are some things. You want to eliminate, what you do want to eliminate are things like caffeine, sugar. Eggs depend. If it's somebody with like Lyme or something like that, some people, it's acidic. So some people can't have eggs. But if, nothing else, I would consider the eggs be okay. It depends on where they're at. But eliminate the nuts, soy, alcohol, dairy, corn, all those types of things. Those would all be eliminated. So we would introduce other things, have more greens in your diet. Like the kale and the collard greens and things like that.
Broccoli.
Broccoli, yes.
Broccoli or some lettuce.
Yeah, different lettuces.
And what about dessert? Say somebody has a sweet tooth.
Sweet tooth, well, again, the fruits, we've talked about this before, fruits have sugar. So depending on where their gut is at, if they're just cleansing, some fruits are okay because that will help you not crave more sugar, or vegetables that have sugar. Carrots, sweet potatoes, onions, that decreases your craving for sugar. Radishes decrease your craving for sugar too. So you want to balance everything out by adding in more greens. That helps with your blood sugar. Having the sugar in your whole foods, carrots, sweet potatoes, onions, some fruit, but low glycemic. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. You don't want the really high, high glycemic ones. Maybe some pineapple here and there, because that's anti-inflammatory. But again, it depends on where the person's at. So I don't just throw something at somebody and just say, here you go. I really got to go over their health history and kind of see where they're at. Okay. And then we decide from there, okay, you'd be okay with it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to eliminate too many things because they won't do it. So it really it depends on where people are at.
Yeah, because if they're on medication, pineapple can dilute it.
And then the greens, you have to be careful, like if they're on Coumadin. So
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so different things. But for the most part, if you're just doing whole foods and eliminating grains and different things like that, the sugar, all those things, nuts.
If you're not allergic to it.
Right.
What kind of nuts? Would it be cashews, peanuts? I mean, what kind of nuts would you recommend?
Nuts are hard to digest, so if you're going to do a cleanse, you want to eliminate them for a little while. You could probably reintroduce them. It's not to say you have to eliminate them forever, but they're hard to digest. So I would just say, just eliminate them for a bit, and then we'd reintroduce them. Yeah,
because I know for a colonoscopy, you can't have nuts for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Or if you have Crohn's.
Yeah, it's too aggravating. It's too tough on the system. So.
Any new foods that you can recommend that have come out this year? I mean, there's always something. I know. Are you up to date on that kind of stuff? That would be a good fall cleanse. Pumpkins, right?
What's new? I'm trying to think. Trying to think of what's new. I mean, it's not really new, but an idea for coffee, and I've had this before, and you think it'd be gross. It's actually really good. Dandelion coffee. It's almost like a tea, but it's got like a roasted flavor. So that's a really good thing to substitute coffee for. I'm trying to think. I wish I could think of something that's new.
Well, stevia for me was new.
Stevia was new for you. Yeah. Just be careful with stevia. That a lot of times there's other brands out there. I like the liquid stevia, and that's what I use. Just be careful. Some have alcohol in it, some don't.
The packets do?
Packets, no, but the liquids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Some have alcohol, some don't. I think one that's good is Sweet Leaf is a good one. So just be careful. Some are bleached, Yeah. So just be careful with that. But stevia is the best sweetener that we know of that is a substitute. You don't want all the other substitute stuff out there. Don't trade one, problem for another.
Right.
If you haven't seen me on other shows, you don't want to be doing the aspartame and those types of things. Again, that's going to build up in your system, and you're going to have you're going to be bloated because you can't digest it.
Well, the time we have, is there other stuff that you like to share? You have 3 minutes.
We have 3 minutes, so what else would I want to share? Well, I just want to say, if you're out there and say you struggle with losing weight, this would be the perfect thing to do. I myself, I had multiple food allergies, for those of you who've never seen me before, and I struggled with losing weight. What I found was I had food, this would uncover food allergies or food intolerances doing a fall cleanse. So if you work with me, it's optional if we do supplements also, which will reset your metabolism a little faster. It'll just kickstart everything. So I struggled with losing weight because my body wasn't digesting the foods I was eating. So by doing something like this, it's an elimination diet.
Okay.
So you're going to eliminate things, but you don't need to necessarily eliminate them forever. You may be able to reintroduce them. You may reintroduce them and not want to keep doing it.
Right.
Say dairy. Say you reintroduce dairy and you get congested all over again. You don't want to keep doing that. But say you reintroduce it and you're fine. Then just eat the good, have the good stuff, the organic stuff. I don't totally recommend it because it is hard to digest, but you have to listen to your own body.
Right.
You can't, go crazy. It's, this one says this and this book says this and, I can't have this. I can't. What is your body telling you? You need to listen to your own body. So those are some things. It took me forever to lose weight. I had every piece of gym equipment you can imagine because I didn't know I was allergic to the foods I was eating. So I couldn't lose weight. So if you're struggling with that, I would definitely say, check with your doctor. There could be a thyroid problem going on. But something like this is definitely going to help give you a kickstart, reset your metabolism, boost your immune system. So you'll start to drop, you should start to drop a few pounds here and there because you're cleansing out your body.
Right, change what you eat. Well, we have less than 30 seconds to go. Did you want to let people know how they can contact you?
Sure. So the way you can contact me is my website, enrichyourhealth.com, ENRICHUR health.com. Please connect with me on Facebook. I do a lot on Facebook. I've done Facebook Lives. And my name on Facebook is just my name that you see here, Paula Denoncourt. So feel free to connect with me there. Phone number 508-330-9665. And I offer you a free health consultation. And, just say you saw me on this show. And if anybody out there needs somebody to do any talks on Lyme disease, food allergies, anything like that, I've done talks on breast cancer. So if you're looking for a guest speaker, I love doing talks like that. So give me a call. Let me know.
Well, Paula, thank you very much for coming on my show. This is Robin Miller, host of Miller Chat. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thank you. Have a good night.